Okay, people, still trying this out. So what is it? January 18th, 2020. Right? Again, just working with one computer screen. So it's just a little harder to do this. For now. Right? Looks like there's one viewer. I don't know. I'm disturbed today. Right? Because I'm sitting on the other side of the fence here, people, with the real deal in terms of what's going on in the world that I personally think this MTV is trying to do damage control on. Okay? Like, there's just too much stuff going on in the world with too much censorship and comments being deleted and, you know, just, I don't know, like, too much cover-up, right? You know, we had body snatchers in the 17th century that were digging up graves, you know, stealing the bodies from there, right? Showing up at people's houses, and dragging bodies out of there, and taking those bodies to the medical establishment, people. That's where they were taking the bodies. To the scientists, right? The ones that were playing Frankenstein, right? In the name of medicine, right? That was in the 17th century, you know? 15th century, 18th century, whatever it was. We're like, you know, we're in 2020, people. And this is the result of science, if you can see my daughter's face. Okay? And if you look at Zack TV's eyes in a lot of anything that you can find on him, look at his eyes, people. Like, he's thinking in the background, right? I don't know how you can see. I have to, oh my God. I'm doing this today. And then I'm going to get on to other things. Right? I just want to see how this is recording. Because what's happening here is it's cover up, people, cover up. This is cover up by the public union sector, just like the public union sector tried to cover up what happened to Shimei. They glossed it over with their professionalism and their appointed authority, right? When in fact it's just a lot of slimy shit going on. Okay, like a lot of slimy shit that brings you back to the 17th century, right? In terms of grave robbers and body snatchers and that kind of shit. The only thing is we dress them up in uniforms now, okay? They're not running around with raggedy tag clothes looking for a few shillings. No, they're getting paid good fucking money as they're running around waving fucking badges, right? And sporting their what do you call those things? Firearms, to intimidate the population as they're picking us off, people. Okay? And I think one of the reasons why Zack was murdered is because he was bringing the subject of organ harvesting. You know, not the puppy and kittens with, oh, I donated my child's organs even though they killed themselves by accident. It's a feel-good moment because we're going to do an honor walk and serve their memory because they saved 8 lives for the collective good. As the cops are lying to the public in regards to the underbelly of the beast when it comes to organ harvesting in general, people, because we're being treated like cattle. And all you have to do is look at Shimei to remember that. This person that you see right here is not alive. There's nothing with her being alive. But yet it was the public union sector who played her off as if she was. And this is what the cops covered up, people. Okay? There is no other explanation. They had the timeline, okay, and they ignored it. They took pictures of where she was sitting at the time of her death to document that she had defecated and urinated while sitting up, and they ignored it. Based on Shimei! Because they had a different agenda, right? So for all these unsolved murders in the United States of America being done by guns, right? It's just a smokescreen, people, right? Because it's like an accident. I guess you could say Zack's murder was an accident. Because the cops treat it like an accident. Just like they treated Shimei's murder like an accident. I'm only going to do this once, people. Okay? I'm comparing the two because the cops treat them like accidents to cover up what's going on. And I think this is why Zack was murdered. Because when you watch MTV, their little documentary, they're whitewashing, smudging, right? Censoring, deleting, manipulating the narrative. And they're leaving it open to speculation in terms of, well, there's rumors that Kenneka Jenkins' organs were harvested, and if they weren't harvested, they were going to be harvested because that was the plan. It's just it got disrupted for whatever reason because they got caught, just like they got caught with Shimei. In the end, they got caught. And I think Zack knew more than he was saying, people. And if he didn't know more than what he was saying, if he kept saying, I think the truth would have came out a whole lot fucking faster versus being buried by some documentary that's misleading the public to prop up, our authority figures, cops, and those kind of people to be correct in their investigations simply because they can say it's an accident. Right? They never solved Zack's murder. They don't solve that many murders, people. They really don't. Why? They sure in the hell weren't interested in solving Shimei's murder. They let that person walk. Just like they probably let Zack's murderer walk. Right? That's my opinion. And I base that opinion on my experiences sitting up in fucking Canada by myself, taking on this bullshit with censorship by YouTube and their staff because they're in bed with the cops and the hospitals and the fucking coroner's office and all these other places that facilitate organ harvesting, whether it's done with the puppies and kittens and the honor walk or whether it's a cash deal under the table through illegal organ harvesting. And I think if Zack would have continued to live, the subject of illegal organ harvesting would have became more mainstream. I think he was silenced to keep it as a rumor. There's that rumorville for the next 10, 20 years. Oh, Kenneka Jenkins organs were harvested. We just can't prove it. It's a rumor. It's always going to be a fucking rumor. Well, let me remind you, Shimei was not a rumor, people. Shimei was not a rumor. There's your proof. Shimei was not a rumor. There's nothing live about this body, because once the homeostasis in the body shuts down, because it draws on a living body that produces hormones to keep the organs and everything viable so that the body can exist. But once those hormones are gone, because the brain, it comes from the brain, people, it's being produced in the brain. Once the brain is dead, those hormones cannot be reproduced. Even in an artificial sense, they can't. And that's why Shimei ended up looking the way she did very quickly under being embalmed. There is nothing normal about that. And this is what the cops covered up. Because they rubber stamped it. Ew, it was an accident. She killed herself. We'll just ignore the pee stains and the poo stains on the futon. We'll ignore the timeline. Who cares if she laid there for 50 minutes by herself? That's not what's important. What's important is that her dead body generated $500,000 for some fuck that wants to sit up there and say he represents me and my province because my government protects criminal activity and criminals to facilitate the public union sector and their pension plans so they can go around hijacking old people when it's convenient for them and steal their money and ruin their lives and anybody else that's attached to them. That's all done being by design, people. There is no fucking accident in that. Okay? And if Zack was alive, the subject of illegal organ harvesting would have just bubbling up. It just would have kept on fucking bubbling. So they had to silence him, people. They had to silence him. It just wasn't some random let's shoot Zack, because he did an interview with somebody. No, it goes a lot more than that, because you could see it in his eyes. Right? But he was already on that path, people. He was already on that path. Now, as for these dudes over here, this guy right here, Donald E. Stephens III, right? The superintendent of Rosemont, or whatever, Again, damage to control. I'm not gonna play it. You can come look at it. But from the little bit that I remember, as I was listening to him talk, he talks about, we do our investigations based on facts. Everything's on facts. And because we say that, somehow that makes us so fucking right. Well, let me remind you, they didn't do their investigation on facts with Shimei, people. And that's why I'm so angry, because I can see the hypocrisy with these slimy dudes. They're slimy. They are body they are 17th century body snatchers. That's what they are, under the cover of a fucking ambulance and a police car and a fucking gurney in a hospital. Okay? Until it happens to you, you don't want to believe it. But, you see, I have the proof. I have the proof, people. I don't need to whitewash it. I don't need to mislead the public. I don't need to protect my fucking pension plan or my life insurance policy or my dental plan. Right? I don't need to protect any of that, people. I have no fucking stake in it other than I lost my daughter for bullshit. For slimy bullshit. Hello, April. I'm having a bad day. As you can see. Right? It really bothers me that everybody's just going around in circles with the bait. Bait. Kenneka Jenkins is the bait to keep people guessing. That's it, people. As the bigger, I don't know what MTV is other than it, some sort of a channel network, like cable network, where it's fucking damage control. It's just damage control to, well, the rumor is, her organs may have been harvested, or were going to be harvested. That's the rumor to distract away from what is really happening, people. It's just people, when they're under stress and they lose a loved one, and they have been conditioned through our public school systems and all our other institutions, right, to, what do you call it? Follow the leader when it comes to our authority figures. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Let me bend down and kiss your feet. Right? Don't question. Don't breathe. Right? As they terrorize you in your homes, if they're not coming in, taking out fucking 300,000 kids a year in the United States of America through their freaking CPS and all this other shit, and then taking it to court, right? Where, family law, you're proven, you're charged to be guilty until you're proven innocent. And therefore, you have to fight to prove your innocence while they keep your children and fuck with their heads and ruin their lives and then give you back broken children if you're lucky. Right? Because they're so morally correct to do so. But yet, when this stuff stares them in the face, they just ignore it. Right? And if they can't ignore it, they'll fucking knock you off. Right? If they see you as a threat, they'll find another way to knock you off. Like with Zack, he was a threat. He was bringing the subject of illegal organ harvesting to the fucking surface. It was bubbling. If he would have been alive today, the topic wouldn't be, Kenneka Jenkins, this, that. It would be, let's get on with the real deal of why so many people are going missing in the United States. Why there is so much gun violence going on in the United States. Why almost 80,000 people a year die from fentanyl-related fucking deaths every year in the United States, as our cops and our coroner and our doctors and all these elite are rubber stamping accident, oh, suicide, no, sorry, accident, suicides, oh, sorry, accident. It's one or the other, right? Never murder. Right? And even when it is murder, pa-pow, with a gun, right? Oh, well, it must have been a fucking accident because they never solved the murder. It's equal to an accident, no different. And when you look a little deeper and you look at Shimei, you realize that you're dealing with 17th century fucking body snatchers. I'm here to remind you, people, our public union sector is equal to 1,700 body snatchers. As we've got superintendents trying to smooth it over saying, well, we just deal with the facts. Facts my ass. If that was the case, why didn't they fucking deal with the facts with Shimei? Justice for Shimei. Why didn't they follow up on the timeline? Right? Why didn't they get into her Facebook? To go see what that guy did with her phone? Why did they just take his money and let him walk with the dope between his legs when they fucking catch him selling drugs? Right? They take the money, knowing that he won't come back for it, but they let him walk with the drugs between his legs. I know that because Shimei told me. Right? You think he's the only guy that cops fucking do that with? In this province? With so many people dying from fentanyl? Under the premise of accident? You see, we don't have a lot of guns out here, people. And when we do, it's just a big, the gun, oh my god. The only people out here that have fucking guns mostly are the cops. And they use it to intimidate you, that's all. Right? They don't use it to protect you. Because if they were protecting you, I wouldn't be on this subject. Right? So, alright, this dude, that one right there, you know, he's all about facts. They do their investigations on facts. I call him on his bullshit. Do you honestly think the RCMP of Canada want to go off and investigate what happened to Shimei? Hell no. Because they were trying to cover it up right from the get-fucking-go. Okay? And if they're doing it out here, you know they're doing it out there in the United States of America because they've been doing it for a long fucking time. That's why all these young people are getting murdered and all these murders are never being solved. Because it's the same old okie dokie. That's what it is. And then they've got this. I'm not going to play this because I'm not going to give these people an opportunity to come in here and use their little video, their distraction, right, to silence me, people. Okay? Oh, that's another thing. This Bree in this little video, or something, I don't know, somehow, some way, went out in the hall with Kenneka, and Kenneka left her phone or something inside. Now, apparently, Kenneka was completely inebriated. So why you would go out in the fucking hall on the 9th floor with your inebriated friend, right? And then run back inside to the freaking party room with your friends and leave your drunk friend standing by an elevator by herself for 10-15 minutes as you're rooting around for some fucking phone, and then come out and she just mysteriously disappears, but yet nobody can find her, even though you see her running around through the fucking halls, left, right, and center for hours, and then all of a sudden she's dead? Like, come on, people. Don't be so stupid. Like, seriously, don't be so fucking stupid. First of all, in some ritzy hotel, ritzy of all things, they're not going to let no drunk running around in the fucking halls by themselves for over an hour as they're monitoring them. Not unless there's nefarious reasons behind that. Okay? And I really do question these so-called friends that just left her standing there, drunk, by herself, beside an elevator on the 9th floor to go back into a room to look for a cell phone. It only takes one person to look for a cell phone. Right? They could have brought her back in. Why did they leave her there? The same question is, why you got Kenneka running around through the fucking halls for over an hour or however long it was? I don't know, like, the exact detail, but as it's being recorded in some ritzy hotel, right? That's connected to fucking a butcher shop for profit in terms of organ harvesting, because that's the big business of the day now, right? Only they like to put puppies and kittens with it and do their honor walks around it. But when in fact, this is what it really looks like, people. Where is it? That's what it really looks like. Okay? That's your organ harvesting for you. Let me remind you of that. Slimy people produce slimy results. This young man was bringing it up to the surface. And then suddenly he died by accident. Because the cops treated his murder like an accident to shut him up. Well, to shut up the people. So they go back to the default of going around in circles for the next 20 years talking about the same old shit as another fucking million people disappear in the United States of America to never be seen again, with their organs being ripped out, practically, probably, many of them while alive. Because that's what's happening in the world today. They prefer you alive before they take out the organs. So if you go fucking missing and never be seen again, what do you think's happening? And don't try and put it off, oh, well, a sex slave. You know, they just fucked her to death for 7 years until she died of AIDS. And then they burned her body and threw it off in a fucking bush. Her ashes. No, people, it's a little more fucking complicated than that. Okay? Because we have a lot of slimy people in this planet. And they run in packs. And they use their position of authority and taxpayers' money to fucking do it. People's organs are not being taken out in butcher shops. And they're sure now not being transplanted into other people off a fucking kitchen table. It's all being done through hospitals. Or facilities like hospitals. Which all equals to government employees. Let's set the record straight, MTV. So anyway, this dude here, he going on talking about, oh, well, we do our investigations with facts. I call him out. That's bullshit. They didn't fucking use no facts when they investigated Shimei's murder. They whitewashed it, covered it up, and fucking tried to bury it. And then we've got this other dude who played himself off as some investigator. This one right here, I think where is he? Long-time investigator. That, is that one? I think he's an older fart. Some old fart. This one. That one right there. That one. That dude. He's an expert. You gotta take his, and you know what? And this is why I get angry. Because it happened to me, people. You see, I can relate to what's going on here because these slimy cops came into my house and stood over me, lorded, because they're like 6'5", right? 6'5". You know, pay attention to that. It's like a clone, right? You can come up in here and, you know, and, well, I'm sorry, Miss Tony. After we've done our investigation, me and my buddy, right? We have determined that it was an accident. Here, let's look in Shimei's medical files. Well, first of all, it was suicide. He tried to pull out Shimei's medical files, bring out one fucking piece of paper that related to when she was 17 years old after the fact of Andre being illegally apprehended. And then when that didn't work because Tisha ragged on him and said, hold on a minute, no, that's when he changed it and turned around and put it as an accident. And because he's in a position of authority, you know, he's a cop, right? You know, he's been with the force for how fucking long. He's employed by the government. He's a guaranteed pension plan. He's got a guaranteed superannuation life insurance policy. You know, he's got guaranteed this and guaranteed that because 60% of the provincial government goes towards guaranteeing that this guy will do the government's bidding. So therefore, he becomes automatically right by fucking default. He never took it to fucking court, right? He never hired an investigative team. He didn't do anything. All he did was come along and fucking rubber stamp. Well, this guy is the same way. I'm an investigator. I've been doing it for the last 25 years of my life. I'm completely experienced. So, you know, after looking at the evidence, I've decided that this girl, Kenneka, she was so fucking drunk so that by the time she walked into the freezer, all she did was lay down and pass out and didn't fucking move. And then sat up there and said that there was no physical signs of a fight or self-defense or anything, and then played it off as if she scratched herself and did all this because her body was freezing. Well, first of all, if you're fucking drunk and passed out, you ain't gonna fucking wake up and start going like this, right? Just right before you fucking die. No, you're gonna stay passed out. That's my opinion, people. So you see how they're misleading the public. They're doing damage control. That's what they're doing. Okay? With Shimei, they just ignore it. Because they know that there's nobody out here fighting for Shimei. They know that. They know that I'm a sitting fucking duck because they've been working on that for a long fucking time, picking one family member off after another, right? So I'm a sitting fucking duck, so I'm not a big threat to them people, right? I'm not. They're already in my fucking YouTube channel, you know, removing comments that have been there for years and years and years. I go back into an old video and it's completely devoid of comments. I go back into an old video. I look in the description box, remembering that I had wrote something in there before. It's fucking gone. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Right? So, I'm no threat to them. This is I'm the ramblings of a lunatic. What you're looking at is the ramblings of a lunatic. Because there's nobody out here to fight on my family's behalf. Right? Because, you know, we're Canadians. We accept what's being fed to us by the public union sector. Because it's all coming from them. And their slimy ways. I'm only doing this once, people. And then I'm going to get back up into this shit. Okay? And then I'm going to get people coming into my channel saying, oh, don't talk about Shimei. You're disrespecting your dead body. Well, her dead body. What kind of mother are you? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm the kind of mother who's looking for fucking justice in my fucking country. That's kind of like the Congo, right? This isn't Canada. This is like the fucking Congo, and our fucking public union sector is the freaking guerrillas. You know, the military guerrillas that come in with their fucking machetes and chop off this and chop off that, grab your hair, pull you out the fucking door, throw you in the bush, you know, do all kinds of crazy shit with you, and then come back and attack another fucking family member. Because there's no one here to fight for us. The cops aren't fighting for us. No, they're too busy doing damage control, protecting their fucking perks and their bonuses. This stuff in here, this is the inside of her mouth. This all in here, this is sutures, people. That's what that is, sutures. They have to sew shit up. They have to fucking pinch shit together. Tell me where her teeth is. She has no teeth. What she has in there, and I can prove it, people, is a freaking orifice plug. Not on this video. I have it fucking documented on another video. But I'm just a raving lunatic, right? That's what I am. A raving lunatic that has documented proof that illegal organ harvesting is happening as it's being, what is it called? Whitewashed with damage control, right? Rhetoric. As business as usual in the United States of America continues to treat murder like an accident, just as long as people like this can feed you the old okie dokie and say she did it to herself. Even though it's documented that she was running around in a ritzy hotel for over an hour, drunker than a fucking skunk, as her friends were running around the hotel looking for her, bypassing her in the halls, not realizing that they even seen her. Like, how can you have all these people running around in the fucking hotel looking for Kenneka, and Kenneka's running around the hotel herself for over an hour, or whatever it is, until finally she finds her way to a freezer and decides to go to sleep? Based on what this dude has to say. She just simply went to sleep. She lay down on as soon as she walked in, she fell to the floor and fucking passed out. And then when she got real cold, she woke up for 10 minutes and did all this? And then died? Come on, people. Don't be stupid, man. Don't be fucking stupid. Okay? Don't be fucking stupid. Don't be fucking stupid.